watching the hottest gaming podcast to hit the scene. Class vs. Crass. The mastermind of this operation is Jason Lapine. Class vs. Crass. With the help of his scruffy buddy, 85 to the RGT. Class vs. Crass.
It's fun. It was fun. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Class vs. Crass Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Hey Jay. Joining me for the first time since E3, RGT85, fresh off his laptop.
Hello, shut up.
What?
So pissed off.
All right, well, we're going to make this show no longer than it needs to be tonight because there's nothing worse than a cranky RGT. If it is your first time joining us, welcome. It's been a while. It is a 1 hour podcast where we talk about all the things we've been playing in the past week. I expect to hear some interesting thoughts about Sean's playthrough of Crash Racing. As I've seen, you've been smacking the Crash Hornet Nest over the past week.
I didn't know that was a thing, but I have learned.
I didn't know it was a thing either, but anyways, we're going to get to that in a sec. So we go over what we've been playing. Then, honestly, Sean and I have not had the chance to talk since E3, so we're going to share our thoughts about what we loved, like, hate, or meh. We're not going to go through all 300 items and games, of course, but we will go over all the general news that came out of E3, because last week was a pretty slow news for video games. Unless you want to talk about Tifa's boobs for an hour. I don't know if you're into that.
I mean, we could touch on it. I think it's an interesting topic.
Okay, we'll touch on it. That's fair. We'll touch on it. And then we save the last 15 minutes for the lightning round. That's where we take your questions, your topics. We toss it around amongst us, and we try to get through as many as we can. So make yourself comfortable. Grab yourself a drink. Got myself some water tonight because I just had a delicious ice. Actually, do you guys have this in the U.S.? Iced cappuccinos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got all sorts of iced coffee.
And it's like, not iced coffee. Iced cappuccino. It's like a slushy.
Yeah, man. They got everything.
Oh, okay.
You go to a Dunkin' Donuts, you get whatever.
Yeah, cool. It is quite delicious, so I had one of those. All right. Let's talk about Crash Racing. I haven't played Crash Racing, but I'm on your side in the sense that I don't like Crash Bandicoot. I don't like the platforming of Crash Bandicoot. You don't like the racing of Crash Bandicoot. And
that's not necessarily true. Okay. I like Crash. The Crash Insane trilogy I thought was great. It was fun.
Great is a big word.
Yeah, it was very solid. Crash Team Racing was a game that I did not play as a kid. So my feeling is a lot of people have nostalgia towards this game, and I'm ruining their nostalgia for some reason because people were very angry about my review. This was the first video on my channel ever that has had more dislikes than likes. It is what it is at the end of the day. You're still engaging in the video, so it's it's not going to like hurt it in the algorithms or whatever. But so I played it a couple of years ago when I got my PSP Go because I loaded up a bunch of PS1 games on my PSP Go. And I was like, oh, Crash Team Racing. I've never really played that game. My desktop is doing something. Maybe it's fixing itself. It's probably not. It's probably just going to be back in the same fucking cycle. I played some Crash Team Racing on my PSP Go. I thought the game looked good. I thought it was, pretty fun. I thought Mario Kart was better. Whatever. So I bought Crash Team Racing. I went and bought it early in the morning, and I spent the day with it. And it looks great. It's a beautiful game. It just doesn't, and there's a ton of content. There's so many different modes. Whatever. Just the racing is not good. And my three main pillars of argument were that the racing was not good, the online didn't work, and that the load times were too long. Now, since then, they have released a patch that fixes the online so it's playable, because on day one, the online was not playable at all.
Right, I saw your video where it's like clipping and all crazy.
Yeah, so, but the thing of it is like a kart racing game And I played the game on the medium difficulty because that's the standard difficulty. So I figured that's what the developer wants me to play. I wouldn't say it's unnecessarily hard. I would just say they make the game hard by being so cheap. Things like the fact that pretty much every race there is designated one racer who's going to finish in first or in second. That is the racer you have to beat. The next race, that same racer will be in 8th place. So there's no consistency in that. I show in the video where I use an item on an opponent and they hardly slow down for a split second and they stay ahead of me pretty much the whole time. Whereas if you get hit with an item, you come to a crashing halt, no pun intended. That's not good game design. And a lot of people said, well, you have to, do the drift mechanic. And I understand that you drift, you build up a drift meter that goes up to 3 bars, and then you get a big drift. If you don't master that, you're not going to get anywhere in this game. And once again, I feel like, that's not, and one of the things I heard a lot, one of the top comments on the video was, RGT says the game is unbalanced. Oh, it's just like how I remember it when I was a kid. And it's like, oh, okay, this game is over 20 years old now. Like, you don't think they should have refined the racing? The rubber banding in the game is absolutely insane. It makes Mario Kart Wii look like the most balanced game ever. And it's just things like that don't make for a great racing game. I'm not saying the game is the worst kart racer I've ever fucking played or anything like that. My whole point of my video was I was disappointed in this game because it looks great. There was a ton of game modes, but the online didn't work, and the gameplay mechanics were just not very good. They're not solid mechanics. There's no, people say, oh, you have to be skilled in order to play the game. It's not like Mario Kart where you don't have to be skilled. But the thing of it is when the AI is so unbalanced and so unpredictable, your skill doesn't necessarily matter. And that's the thing. And I mean, part of the reason why people shit on my video, I'm sure, is because of just how I talk. Wood can make the exact same fucking video I did. Like, we both made New Super Mario Brothers U videos, both essentially saying the same thing. However, when I say something, I tend to speak with my chest. And I'm a little bit.
You also don't have that Australian accent that makes it all more beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a little more in your face American than he is. He sort of tries to tiptoe into it, where I'm just like, yeah. But I don't know. Like, I don't think the game is necessarily bad. I just think the game could have been great with all the different gameplay modes, with all the different stuff going on. And I feel like it's not going to reach its full potential. If you like the game, I see Gunslinger likes the game. That's awesome. No problem with it. The actual, if you don't do the adventure mode, the actual races are a little bit more manageable. But in the adventure mode, like, the difficulty it's all over the place. You'll play a race, you'll do a couple races, you'll be going through fine, and then you'll get to a race where it's just like a hard stop, and it's going to take you a very long time and multiple races in order to win the race. And the other thing is you have to finish in first in the adventure mode in order to progress to the next area. So it's not like you could just, oh, I finished second, oh, I finished third, that's okay. I'm getting like a cup system where there's points or whatever. No, there's nothing like that.
Oh. So now
in the adventure mode.
So your review got review bombed. So you know not to mess with the crash.
I mean, I will mess with Crash. I don't care. Right. At the end of the day, it's just my opinion.
Do you think Crash has kind of entered that territory of Sonic?
Yes.
Like, Sonic has a really hardcore fan base, and anywhere I've looked where there's a negative opinion or review of Sonic, there's a full legion of Sonic fans there to defend Sonic. Yes. And I'm seeing a very similar pattern with Crash Bandicoot.
I think so.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because, I mean, fuck, when was the last time Crash was relevant?
About a year ago when the trilogy came out.
I mean, before that.
Yeah,
but how many bad Crash games were there after the trilogy? There were so many. There were so many terrible games, and it had that sort of Sonic stigma.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know. I guess I really feel like it's a nostalgia thing for some people, which is fine. I have probably given games higher marks based on my nostalgia personally. And it is what it is. But yeah, I didn't enjoy the game. If they do an update to adjust the rubber banding and stuff, I would check it out again. But as far as I'm concerned, I have no desire to ever play that game again.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I returned my Crash Bandicoot trilogy copy because just wasn't enjoying it. As for myself, in the past week, I've been playing some. I don't think we talked about this. Cadence of Hyrule, which I finished playthrough last week.
There's another game.
What? What do you mean? There's another game? Another game you didn't like?
Once again.
Oh no!
It's not that I disliked it.
That you didn't like it.
I was replying to a comment in the chat. I didn't dislike it. I thought the game was beautiful. I thought the sound was great.
Oh boy.
I beat the game, but I never felt like I fully grasped the gameplay.
But you're you're a musical dude too. Like you can play music. I can't.
I know.
So
I don't know. I never felt like I fully grasped I never got to a point where I was very competent in playing the game.
What was did you have a favorite weapon that you were using?
The ball, the
flail.
Yeah, it was the ball spinner thing.
Yeah, that thing was OP. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, like that thing. That thing was awesome.
Yeah, you just like go right next to the people, you kill everything. So you just like couldn't get the rhythm down?
Yeah, like I don't know. And I tried the non-rhythm mode, and like that just made the game a little like weirder to me. And I was just like, all right, whatever. I'm just gonna stick with the rhythm mode. But yeah, like I never felt like I fully mastered the gameplay, and that is completely on me.
Right.
I'm not saying anything about that with other people. I'm just saying that was completely me. Just not my style of game. But then again, I'm not super big on rhythm games. Like they're okay.
Have you played Crypt of the Necrodancer though?
No.
Okay, so I played that after because I got into Crypt of the Necrodancer first, sucked at it, hated it, got Cadence because I thought Cadence was part of Crypt, so that was a purchasing mistake on my end. Played Cadence, first hour, hated it, couldn't get into it. I'm like, this is so stupid. Why did I like spend so much money on this? Then it clicked and I got into it. And then it was amazing. And then I loved it. And so I went through Cadence and I was hooked. Like I couldn't put it down. I played 5 hours straight, couldn't put it down. Once I beat that, I was like, all right, let's go back to Crypt now. I was better, but Crypt is definitely harder. I've only beaten the first dungeon in Crypt of the Necrodancer. The second one is just the music is like more mellow, and I don't like that. So it's a lot harder game. So don't get Crypt of the Necrodancer if you didn't like Cadence. Cadence is like the.
I didn't dislike it. I just didn't get it.
You didn't get it.
Yeah.
You didn't get it.
I couldn't get to a point with the gameplay where I was like, I am comfortable playing this game.
Oh.
I understand what I'm doing with this game. I understand how to avoid enemy attacks and how to traverse through areas.
Hey,
I never really got that way.
Oh, I thought it was cool. There was like a lot of exploration. There was a lot of throwbacks to Zelda.
Yeah, I mean the game. The graphics and music are beautiful.
The soundtrack's amazing. Hey, look, we have Christopher Arnold in the chat. I haven't seen him around. Remember Christopher?
That's Fidel.
Yeah. What else did I play? I played some of that. Oh, I tried to play this new game. I've never played Dota, by the way. Have you played Dota? I'm gonna say no.
No.
Okay, so they came out with this new game called Dota Underlords or something, which some people were like hyped about in my circle. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it. It's free. It's on PC. It's on mobile, and everyone's talking about it. It's just a stupid game. I don't know. I can't get into it. I don't know if anyone here plays it. Oh, thanks, Kat. Yes, Castlevania. The hashtags are not intentional. That's just me rushing. I literally got into my home 20 minutes ago. I'll remove those. But that's another reminder. I was also playing more Castlevania Simon's Quest this week, which, you know, I'm not playing it the way that it was meant to be played. Clearly, I'm playing it with a walkthrough because I'm trying to get through all of Castlevania, you know, without it taking me 5 years to do. And Simon's Quest is not the kind of game I'm patient enough to do without a walkthrough today, because there's just so many games to play in 2019. It's a very different era. If you go back to 1989 when Simon's Quest came out, and you know you had a total of like 3 games per year to play because you couldn't convince your parents that video games were worth an investment, I think I would have loved Simon's Quest as a kid because it had that cryptic feature that, you know, the more I play it, the more I learn that, yes, it's super cryptic, it's weird, but there are a lot of hints dropped in the game to help you. And if you take the time to write down all the hints, the riddles, and like start drawing maps and stuff, I think it's actually a game that can be solved and that it's not as crazy as it sounds. The combat in it I find is way more fair, way more easy. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I like about it. So I'm hoping I made it to. I just finished the 5th mansion, so I'm gonna be going into Dracula's castle sometime this week.
I also played Realm Royale.
I have heard of that. The Fortnite
Yeah,
clone.
I mean it's good. I think it looks really good. It runs really good, but I'm over the battle royale shit.
Oh god, am I over it too? Even when
But this week's gonna be good for games. I got 3 games that I got to get this week and review on the channel.
what's coming out this week?
So you got Devil May Cry HD, which I never
That's
picked
this
up.
week already.
It's tomorrow. Well, it's the 25th. So I'm gonna play. It's only like a 6-7 hour game. Then you got Bloodstained
yes.
on Tuesday as well, and then you have Mario Maker Friday.
Oh shit, Mario Maker's this week.
Yeah,
I lose
so-
track of time like so easily.
It's a great week for my PC to take a shit on itself.
Yeah, I need to upgrade my PC too. It's been struggling.
At least it works.
Let's knock on some wood when you say that. It's working more than yours at this current moment. It could decide to just shit at any moment. Not gaming related. Remember a few weeks ago I told you I was going to a grade school reunion?
Yeah, and I laughed at you.
Yeah, that was yesterday. You want to hear about that story?
Sure.
Yeah. So I drive up, and I'm kind of late. I'm like 10, 15 minutes late. Drive up in the parking lot of this like hall. There's 3 cars in the parking lot. I was like, oh, well, that's odd. Maybe people are parking elsewhere. Walk into this grand hall with like 60, 70 chairs for people. There's 3 people standing by the bar who are one's my cousin, one's my friend, and another one is someone I haven't seen. So anyways, I'm like, are there more people coming? Was the response pretty good? Oh yeah, more people are gonna come. By the end of the night, a grand total of about, I think, 10 people showed up in total. Like, that's with wives and stuff. So for a class of like 30 or so people,
Because it's a grade school reunion, you fucking weirdo. Who would go to that? I didn't even go to my high school reunion.
you had a high school reunion? That's nice.
Yeah, like I didn't go. I was like, I don't give a fuck about these people. Like,
So that's the thing. That's the thing we learned.
Here's the thing about this. Okay, first and foremost, the people that I want to talk to from high school, I talk to.
Yeah.
There's a reason. You're easy to find. Okay,
Yeah.
it's social media age.
Yeah.
I'll find you on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'll find you wherever. There's a reason why I don't talk to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Second off, I forgot where I was going with this.
Anyways, you have the exact same opinion as the other 90% of people didn't show up.
Oh,
Apparently, people are like, I don't want to see people from 20 years ago. If I did, I'd still be talking to them in the age of social media.
Well, the
Anyways.
thing of it is, those sort of things, all it is like dick measuring contests.
Oh,
like,
so much.
This is what I do in life. This is what I sit around and play video games all fucking day and make videos.
To me, that's a pretty big measure, man.
Go fuck yourself. Like.
Anyways, I had a good time. I got a lot of wine and I just made the best of it. But yeah, it was something. It was something. Anyways, how was your weekend? Did you go anywhere? Oh no, you've been fighting your PC all weekend and the Crash fan base.
I was supposed to go to my grandma's for lunch today, but I wanted to try and fix this. And at the time, it said it was repairing and it gave me a percentage, and I was like, oh, let me hang out. But now it's just back to scanning and repairing.
Look at that. Rack's in the chat. We were talking about Castlevania earlier. This guy, you say Castlevania, he's like the Kool-Aid man. He'll just like bust through a wall and show up. And he's like, someone say Castlevania. Because that's what he sounds like. E3. Right. Let's talk about E3. Seriously, did you like it? Did you like your overall impression of E3? It was a good year, I think. Do you agree with that?
All things considered, I would say mediocre.
Oh, you didn't like E3?
I would say a 6 out of 10.
Do you usually like E3?
Somewhat. I find things to like about it. I mean, there was 2 good conferences and a bunch of other conferences.
Okay, well, I know you like Nintendo, so what's the other one?
Square.
Okay, we're aligned.
Square was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda sucked. Ubisoft sucked. Microsoft didn't suck, but I thought it was disappointing
because of
and
all the cutscenes.
well, because of all the cutscenes and the fact that it's another filler year. You still didn't do any. It was essentially like last year. Last year it was like promises, and then this year promises. Like, fuck. Why do they follow the Pied Piper known as Phil Spencer still? I don't get it.
But then you have PlayStation that also is in their gap year, but they're just not making promises. They're just not showing up.
Yeah, which I mean, it was probably smart at the end of the day.
Yeah. Gadget Mike says, as an online viewer, E3 was very meh. You know what? I think I'm not as disappointed in E3 because I did something that I don't usually do, and I watched the PC game show this year. And nobody talks about the PC game show any year. And, you know, I've always heard that it was boring and stuff, so I watched it this year. And it was actually good. They showed a lot of games. They had a decent pacing to it. It's an old style conference. Like, it feels outdated, but they still had a lot of good games. And when people were coming up on stage, they're like, yeah, this is like more details about the game. And it was actually interesting to listen to. And, you know, in this day and age, a lot of the PC games come to consoles anyway. So I didn't feel like, you know, if you're a console based only player, it's kind of cool to see like these games that are out there. You didn't watch it, I assume.
No,
of course not. So
it didn't have Greg Miller.
Oh, so you watched EA play?
Yeah.
You actually watched EA play?
I had to. I had to see the Star Wars stuff.
Okay, you could have like cut out the stream after the first 30 minutes.
Well, I did. I only watched like once I got into the sports titles, I tuned out.
Yeah. You a fan of that Star Wars footage we saw? I think it looked.
I thought it looked. Well, here's the thing. Like, I thought it looked better when they showed it during the Xbox presentation because they showed more gameplay variety.
Yeah.
And then when they actually explained the game after E3, saying that like you can go from planet to planet and area to area.
What? Where was this?
It was like it was in an interview or something. Because you know how they said it was sort of Metroid Prime was an inspiration, and everyone was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? It's Uncharted, not Metroid."
Yeah.
But the Metroid aspect is how you can visit any area you want.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
I did not catch that interview.
Yeah. That's why I do this for a living, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good
So that was cool. Greg Miller was fucking obnoxious, though. I don't care what anyone says.
He's a happy, high energy guy. It's the opposite of what you are.
He's a shill.
A shill?
You throw him a bag of money and he'll shill your shit, which is fine, you know.
You mean he's a paid host, is what you're saying?
But he wasn't a good host. He was talking over people. He was yelling. He was screaming.
But that's his personality, though. When you hire him, that's what you expect to get.
You expect to be annoyed?
Not to be annoyed. I personally like his style. It's loud and obnoxious, and I get that some people don't like that. I like it. It's entertaining to me.
I guess. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I'm sure he's a very nice guy, and
I think he's very authentic, personally. You say shill, I say authentic.
No, he's not. Come on.
Okay, I told you my story of how I stumbled upon Greg when I was at EGLX.
Yeah, then you guys made out in the back room.
Almost. But no, I came back and I found him like I came back from a party going to check into my hotel, and there was like this like loud ruckus group at the bar like drinking, and some of them were my coworkers, and I'm like one of them was Greg. I was like, "Oh shit, he's here." So yeah, I went out and just hung out with him, and yeah, the guy like he's exactly the guy you see on camera. He doesn't like tone down. He doesn't change.
But I mean, that's not. Doesn't mean you have to like him.
No, it doesn't mean you like to. Not
I'm the same person you see on camera.
Yeah,
like,
lots
no
of people
what,
hate you. I mean, it's
yeah. That's fine. It comes with the territory.
Lots of people hate me too. It's part of the game.
I mean, I'm sure he's a nice chap, but not my style.
That's fair. Limited run games. I think that's one that got you pretty excited.
That was a banger, man. That's fucking Turok and shit. Yeah. The Power Rangers, dude. I fucking bought that Power Rangers.
You already bought the Power Rangers one?
I bought the collector's edition.
You buying all the LucasArts stuff coming out? That was a big surprise.
I may buy. I'll buy the games that I want. I think with the LucasArts stuff.
Okay, I never actually played the Bounty Hunter game.
It's good.
I heard it was like mediocre, so I've never been very eager to buy it.
I would say it's slightly above mediocre.
Oh, okay. What are the other ones? Well, we got X-Wing TIE Fighter, which was always a classic. Although I downloaded that on Steam, did not age so well.
I want to get the first person shooter game. I hope that
Dark
comes out
Forces.
on console.
Yeah, those were good. Well, I remember them being good. I don't know if they aged well.
Yeah, the presentation was cringe, but they wanted it to be.
Let me show you this. I just pulled this out of my car.
But yeah, like limited runs getting a fuck ton of my money. And I actually just played the Power Rangers game since they did the big free update that has a story mode and stuff. Still a really fucking good game, man. The fighting in the game is
Of what?
The Power Rangers game. Dude.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a good
I
game.
don't know about that. Look at this. So my mother sent me this. She's like, hey, am I going to throw these out or are you going to take them? So the original instruction booklet for Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, which was one of the first like PC games I had to actually ask for. And I remember I got this for Christmas. And like this is crazy. Like PC games don't have instruction books. Like when's the last time? Look at those freaking graphics on like the NPCs and like the enemies and stuff. This was such a really cool game. Have you played this one with Jarek? I think he was like some Dark Lord of the Sith.
No, I didn't play PC stuff.
Oh, so
that's why I want to play the first person shooter because I never played it.
Right. So I got this one, and this came if I remember right, it came bundled with what is this? I don't know what that is. Came bundled with this other one, which is Mysteries of the Sith, which in my opinion was just as good. So this was, I don't know if you know who that character is, Mara Jade. She's kind of more relevant now. I was going to say she married Luke Skywalker, but I think all of that got retconned. No, Luke dies alone. Yeah, that got retconned. She's not even important anymore. But yeah, she was kind of a big deal in the mid-90s. She was like a novel-only character. And yeah, you could actually play as her in here, and you went around, and it was a good game. It focused more on like the lightsaber and the force powers. But it's a good time. Also, I don't know if you care about this. Ever heard of this game?
Man. Yeah, I remember Riven, the sequel to Myst.
Damn, this was hard. So my mother was very against violent games when I was a kid. And I remember this being covered in the news, and it's like, oh, it's a puzzle game, and there's like no violence. And she's like, oh wow, that's amazing. You can actually have video games with no violence. She bought me this game, and I had no freaking idea how to play it. This thing is cryptic and hard. I was 8 years old. I was like, how the hell do you play this? So I bought this book to help me get through it. And even this book, like I had to go into like the really deep walkthrough on how to do it. And I was just like, it'd be interesting to replay this as an adult to see if I can actually figure this out.
The thing of Myst and Riven to me was it was just supposed to be a pretty game. I don't think it was supposed to be a good game.
Right. Yeah. I actually don't even know how it held up. Why are you calling me a terrible host?
You had the manual click, and when you left, it wasn't on me.
Oh. Apologies for that.
Terrible host.
I'd like to see you do better. Speaking to your point of the whole Star Wars information coming out of interviews, that's not the first thing that happened this time with E3. The first time that happens at E3. That Dragon Ball Z game that they showed? Kakarot?
Yes.
That's another game that I have no idea why they showed what they showed. They basically showed all the fights from that we're all so used to fight, and they're like, boom, it's a new Dragon Ball game. And it looks like 1v1 fighting, right? But it's like an action RPG. So apparently after that presentation at Xbox, they had a whole interview, and they're like, yeah, you can actually like fly around, and there's like random encounters, and like they actually showed the game and the gameplay. I don't know why they held that back. I hope it's not like going to be the new trend of just like the presentation is just the CG, and then you have to watch the interview to get info on the rest of the stuff.
Some people are saying that they're showing cinematics because they don't want situations like Watch Dogs where a game gets downgraded and then people call them out on it, and I'm just like, well, here's a novel idea. Maybe don't fucking downgrade the game. Don't show off the game if that's not your intentions of
That's fair.
Of your intentions of what the game is going to look like.
Speaking of Watch Dogs 3, what are your early thoughts on that?
That was the best Ubisoft game.
Oh, for sure.
That was the only point of Ubisoft's presentation where I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
like everything else was horrible, but yeah, Watch Dogs looks fucking awesome.
So I think it was Greg that was saying this on the show last week. Do you know how they do it? So everyone is a playable NPC.
This is how we do it.
Exactly like that. You know how everyone's an NPC? Like you can, I mean, every NPC is a playable character.
Yes.
So apparently, none of that is coded in the base game. What happens is when you, like, this is very vague because I didn't play the demo, but what are you doing?
Sorry.
But the way Greg was explaining it is basically when you start recruiting like an NPC, their backstory, personality, like sound file, everything gets populated in that moment that you interact with. And that's like such a smart. So, you know, let's say you have a crowd of 100 people. Instead of the game, like instead of Ubisoft needing to pre-program all of that in, they're basically shells. And then when you decide, I want to, you know, encounter engage with this character, then it like pings the Ubisoft servers and it populates that character's persona.
So it has to be online.
Well, as I'm saying that, I'm realizing that this is I'm paraphrasing Greg. If I understand it correctly, that's what it is.
I mean, that sounds about right, but that's kind of scary.
You are right, though. If it is dependent on the cloud, which it is, if it is what I just described, that could be a big problem. And look at that. Greg actually is in the chat, so you can clarify.
No, it's fine. The cloud is great and our savior, and nothing will ever go wrong with the cloud. And digital gaming is perfect.
Okay,
and
nobody's saying it's
future
perfect.
gaming.
Who is saying it's perfect? I just remembered I did not want to talk to you after that Stadia presentation because it was going to be a heated argument, and I'm really happy we haven't talked since then because I don't even remember what I was disagreeing with you on.
Everything.
Yeah. You want to touch on Tifa's boobs?
Sure, they're nice. I mean, I would fondle them. And oh, you mean the subject?
Yeah, the subject matter of the boobs being censored and downsized,
Okay.
which I'm just gonna come out and say it. I don't think they were downsized. I think.
Here's the thing.
All right, let's see what you have to say.
Play Tomb Raider.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Play a PS1 era game. Play Tobal #1. Play a fighting game, a PS1 era game that features a female protagonist,
Right.
and more than likely she has these large polygonal boobs that are just like ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That was because of a limitation of game design. Obviously, as time has gone on, unless you're talking about Dead or Alive, boobs have gotten more normal. So because of the fact that you're comparing this, the thing of it is like if Tifa was in a game that was from a more modern era, nobody would care because it's just like Lara Croft. Lara Croft went from Q-size boobs in Tomb Raider to, you know, something more natural in her newer games as technology advanced. But because the Tifa character is a character that you have not really seen since Final Fantasy VII, people think her boobs got who the fuck cares? Like if you got that much time, like go get a hooker, man. Like you could seriously, you can go get a hooker for literally the price of the fucking video game and play with real boobs if you can't pull chicks or something like that.
I don't get it either.
It's a weird thing. And the Quartering, who is a YouTuber.
Oh, don't bring him up.
I'm just saying he's a very controversial YouTuber. I'm not saying I watch his stuff or anything, but I do think he brought up a somewhat interesting point, saying that he felt that gaming media was creating the outrage more than
I can
people
agree.
were creating
I can
outrage.
agree. I can agree to that. The first, not surprising. The first I saw this was Polygon, and it's like, why are you even talking about this? You're talking about it because you want the clicks, but it's such garbage reporting and so needless because the reality is, the last time we saw Tifa, in really all of the last designs that she's been brought out in, like when you look at her in Kingdom Hearts, in Advent Children, nobody's talking about her boobs. Nobody. And now, that's why I didn't really want to talk about it, because I feel we're just adding fuel to the fire, that the fact that there really isn't that much outrage. It's just all the media outlets covering it, and it looks like it's a big thing.
I mean, it's something to be talked about, though. You can't just let these media outlets talk about it and, profit off of it and create. And it almost makes you wonder how many other things have possibly been created from things like that.
I don't understand what you're insinuating.
So if they're able to drum up this controversy, quote unquote, about this situation, how many other controversies, quote unquote,
Yeah.
have possibly been fabricated or
A lot.
What's the word I'm looking for here?
Minorities
Embellished.
amplified.
Embellished.
Okay.
What the minorities? What are you doing here? What did you say?
I said like my like the
Minority amplified. Jesus Christ. I mean, I get what you're saying, but that could be taken way out of context. No, they're embellishing and embellishing a situation and making it. But then again, I mean, where do you think they got those cues from? Who else? Who else embellishes things beyond belief? Fox News, CNN.
Oh god, we're going down that road now. That
NBC
the
News,
video
they all
game
have-
media companies are taking notes from the mainstream.
Why not? Why not?
I mean, it makes sense. I just don't want to go there.
It's these tactics that get people to talk about things, and it's like I can't believe that there's
Okay.
people that watch.
So let's bring it back home. So Tifa's boobs is probably an outrage created by
I'm not saying
media
it's-
companies. So how should we, as the audience, as the consumers, react? Do we, if it doesn't bother us, should we just be like, hey, shut up, or should we just be ignore? Like, what's your stance on that then? Or is it another third stance that I haven't even considered?
I mean, it depends on the individual. I don't think everyone needs to outrage against it or speak on it, but in the same breath, I do feel that if it's something, I mean, let's be honest here. At the end of the day,
Let's call a spade
it's
a spade.
not, huh?
Let's call a spade, please.
Let's call a spade a spade. At the end of the day, nobody's, and Nicholas hit a great
Yes.
point there. It was a mistranslation, which spun out of control. But once again, that's another factor of mainstream media in any format.
And just for
whether
anyone who can't read that comment, Nicholas is saying it was a badly translated article that led people to believe something was changed due to censorship. Outrage was towards censorship. However, correctly translated, there is no censorship. So it's,
exactly, but we're so enraged, and I say we, and by we I mean people who are constantly, on the internet and stuff. Like, the real world doesn't give a shit about things like this. Like, if people just, think of how many people in the world don't use Twitter actively.
Yeah.
Like, you see a Twitter post that has like 100,000 likes from someone with 20 million followers, and you're like, wow, 100,000 likes. That's a lot of likes. And then you sit there and think to yourself, well, how many fucking people live in just the United States alone? How many people live? It's like, wow, that's nothing. Like, that's like a speck on the ass of
small
life.
town. Speck on the ass of life.
Yeah. So,
That needs
it's
to be
just,
on a shirt.
it's weird, and it's people, unfortunately, they feed into this stuff. They feed into the outrage culture. They feed into fear mongering.
Yeah.
How many times I can't look, I'm 34 years old almost. I cannot count how many times in my 34 years I've been informed that World War III is coming. Like,
oh God, yeah. The prophecies. We
Like,
had
Jesus
2000,
Christ,
we had 2006, 2012. The world was supposed to end a few times then.
George Bush was going to cause it, and then George Bush's son was going to cause it, and then Clinton was going to cause it, and then Obama was going to cause it, and it's just like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's just, I do not understand how people are not able to see past things like this. But, it is what it is. At the end of the day, take information and translate it for yourself.
Yeah.
And make your own opinion on it. Don't worry about if people disagree with you, because look at me. Everyone disagrees with me about Crash Team Racing. It is the best game ever.
I feel you. I did the same with Star Fox Zero. I think to this day I still have the highest review on Metacritic for Star Fox Zero, at an 8 out of 10. Where you grew up, did you have tabloids, the tabloid news? But like back before the internet, there was the tabloid newspapers, right? Where like 900-pound man like ate his babies. Or
Bat Boy. You had Bat Boy too.
There was so many, and then there was Godzilla, or Monster in the Lake in Lake Michigan and stuff.
Well, tabloids have essentially become what modern,
Yes.
reporting is.
Exactly.
Because everyone's fighting against everyone. And I almost feel like, obviously there are, I'm trying not to get political or whatever.
I know. It's so slippery
obviously
slope.
there are slants when
Yeah.
you look at different major television news
course,
channels
of
or
course.
whatever.
Yeah.
And there's also slants in gaming where there's motives and stuff like that. But I almost feel at the end of the day, like all the bigwigs from these companies are just like sitting around in a room together, like doing lines of blow, smoking fucking Cubans with like $1 million bottles of wine, just laughing at how people are. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'll check out the local newspaper. Like, I feel like, because that, oh God, I could go on a tangent about this. Like,
Please
that's
don't.
what you should be worried about. My philosophy in life is this: worry about yourself first and foremost.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Then once you're good,
Yeah.
you worry about those close to you, your friends, your family, your blood. You take care of them. Okay. Once they're all good and settled, then you worry about the people on your street. You worry about the people on your block. You worry about your neighbors, your
community,
your community. And then once that's good, and once you're happy with that, you extend, and then you extend, and you extend. Motherfuckers these days are like, all right, so I'm unemployed. I'm living off of I'm living off of ramen, and my rent is 3 months due, past due. Let me go protest real quick. And it's like, whoa,
real quick. Just gonna sneak a quick
let's-
protest.
This is quick. Let me go on Twitter and talk about outrages in video games or something. Whoa, what are you
Damn,
doing?
these boobs, they're too small.
There's levels to this shit.
That's my ramen.
Like fuck. That's not true. 8-Bit Eric didn't really like it. Dreamcast guy
What's not
didn't really
true?
like
What's not
it.
true?
Anthony said that my Crash Racing was the only bad review.
It happens.
And lots of people agreed with me on it. It's just, I feel like I probably caught a fanboy sort of. I'm probably on a
Wave?
fanboy Reddit somewhere or something. Just, but it is what it is. I don't care. It didn't.
It is. Now, if you come out and like bash the next 3 games coming out this week, then you're really gonna draw some hate. But I don't see that happening.
No, I think Devil May Cry is gonna be dope. A little bit overpriced, but we'll talk about that. I think Bloodstain has a lot of potential, and then
Could go either way.
yeah,
And then you got Mario Maker, which should be pretty good. Just to finish my tabloid story, I had a cousin that not just him, but his parents believed the tabloids. I remember when we go there for like family events, the parents would like feed into this, and they're like saying the strangest stories about, like, you remember how crazy those tabloids were, and they were like repeating this stuff like it was legit news, and it was just like, as a kid, it's scary. Like when adults say things and you're like, really, that shit's happening? There's a monster in the river or under the stairs, and there's like a cannibal man out in the streets. It's crazy.
No, it's like the Loch Ness monster and Bigfoot.
Yeah, we haven't seen them in a while. With smartphones, you'd think we'd get a good picture by now.
Well, that one fucker who supposedly had Sasquatch in a freezer, and that turned out to be fake.
In a freezer?
Yeah, I used to be big into the Sasquatch lore.
Oh yeah. That was one of the scariest things for me. Like just like this big humanoid creature. Like if I saw a humanoid, one of my fears is seeing like a silhouette in the window. And it doesn't need to be scary. It doesn't need to be like if it's just staring at you.
I'm guessing you don't live in a first floor apartment.
No, I don't.
Okay. Because I see people walk by at night all the time.
Okay, walking by is not so bad. It's if it's standing there.
So Insidious didn't freak you out when
Insidious?
the movie?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, you should. It's a really the first 2 were really good. The third one,
Why is there a lot of staring in the window?
No, there's a part in the movie where very early in the movie where they're at home and they hear something upstairs, and they have like a porch upstairs, and the lady goes upstairs and there's just someone pacing back and forth on the porch, and you just see like the silhouette pacing back and forth, and then they open the door and shit happens.
Oh shit, no. Oh shit, what was I gonna say? I forget. Oh yeah, you know that WarioWare game on the Wii U with the mother You have to hide, like you're playing your Game Boy in bed, and there's the mother that.
Yes,
Like,
of course.
God, that is a scary game. Like she comes out of the TV, she's walking by the window, and then she looks in the window. That terrified me. It was a scary game. Any other topics you want to talk about this week? Oh, Dr. Mario World. Have you looked at any of that?
Yeah, it's a mobile game.
Yeah, so that's about as far as you went with it.
Yeah.
Anything else you would look at? What else came out this week that was worth talking about?
There's a lot of Switch Mini stuff.
Oh,
going
the
on.
Switch Mini stuff. It's just rumors, though.
Yeah, I mean it's coming.
It is coming, but you still think the Pro's a thing?
I do. They're saying that there's going to be 2.
What do you think the Pro's just going to be? Just faster, like a better CPU, more memory?
It's going to be something like a PS4 to a PS4 Pro. It's just going to be an enhanced thing that will potentially run games better for now and in the future.
Right.
And that companies can do patches.
Like a new 3DS. That
Yes.
really did help with the load times on a lot of games. If you
Yes.
recall. So, yeah, okay. That'd be good. Get your questions ready for the lightning round. We are entering the last 15 minutes of the show, so if you have any topics, questions we have not covered that you would like to see us covered, or anything you'd like to know, go ahead and ask away. How do you mess up a Dr. Mario game? Asked Jake. Well, you gotta, like, I don't think traditional Dr. Mario would have worked on mobile. Like, if you... Have you ever seen, like, a Tetris game work on mobile where you, like, tap to rotate and then you slide it in place? I just can't imagine that being very fun or accurate.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how this is gonna play. I do like that it's a puzzle element. I don't think they should necessarily call it Dr. Mario World. I don't think they're necessarily doing themselves a favor calling it that. I did forget to talk about Harry Potter Wizards Unite, which I'd probably be more excited if I saw the movies. But it seems to be like a big deal. Like that is the one like brand I kind of missed out on and that I wish I didn't. And I've been wanting to catch up on the whole Harry Potter hype train for a while. And I just can't. Like here in Canada, they released on Netflix the last 4 movies. But like, can I have the first 4, please? So that I actually know what's going on? Like that's so weird. And like the Twitter account is just like, well, it's better than nothing. It's better than in America where they have no Harry Potters on Netflix. It's like, that's not a good answer.
It's spooky.
Okay. You've seen all the Harry Potters. Did you like it? And recently, isn't it? Or were you not watching it?
I mean, they were okay.
Your face says a different story, sir. Yes. Deep in
No,
thought.
I did watch it.
Okay. Greg, the Pro is going to be a Switch with a better hard drive than Sean's computer. Is that really saying much, though?
Stop it. It's done.
Jay's still giving me a Bob Saget vibe. You know, the hair is getting to a point where the maintenance on it is starting to become a little bit annoying. I don't know if it's going to last the summer because it's getting pretty hot around here. And this is starting to feel like a dead cat on my head. It's also kind of
Imagine how I
looks like
felt
a dead
last
cat.
summer.
How did you feel last summer?
It's dying.
When did you shave it? In the fall, right?
No, recently when I moved in March.
Oh, so you stayed long all the way through the summer.
Yeah.
There is a Tetris game on mobile by EA, says Kat. Oh, okay. So it does exist. I do have the books, Troun's Realm. I don't know. I'm more into audiobooks than books. Or go to the audiobook, you say. I should do that. I leave for 10 minutes and we're talking about Harry Potter. Don't worry, Crimson. You're not missing too much. It's not like I know much about Harry Potter to talk about. I saw the first movie years ago. It was good. I think I saw the second one, but I don't remember the second one. And then I didn't have any Harry Potter friends, so I had nobody to see the movies with. And I never got around to it. It's one of those things that just slipped away.
Oh God, quiet, Anthony.
What's Anthony saying?
Shut up, Jeremy.
What are you talking about?
Jeremy's in the chat with the wrestling pay-per-views on, and they're all mad because whenever there's a wrestling pay-per-view, we talk on Facebook audio call and just talk shit.
Oh,
And
and
we
you're
all do
not part of the
picks.
group right now?
We do predictions.
Mm.
I'm using an HP laptop, Emmy Mac. A little different HP, of course, but
Are they that good? Okay, so I'm getting a lot of recommendations for audiobooks for Harry Potter. Like, I do a lot of driving, so I do prefer audiobooks, and I just finished my most recent one. So I was going to get into that other one, Blake J. Harris's book about VR. The one, that's the author that wrote Console Wars. He wrote another one about Facebook and VR. Shit, I forget what it's called, but I was supposed to buy that.
speaking of books, have you been working on mine?
This by the next time we talk next Sunday, it's going to be done. I took the week off. I took the week off to do your book.
I need to get you that because I want to include the little tower thing too.
Yep.
But that's
Send it
easy
to me.
write-up.
Like literally waking up tomorrow, and we are finishing this book this week, getting it out the door. So for any one of you who's interested in the 32X book, it is coming. The designs are going to be done this week. Sean's going to review, approve it, and then we're going to figure out how to print this thing. And by we, I mean Sean. Good luck.
Yeah.
We do need to do some test things because I'm designing it one way, but we need to do a print test to make sure it prints okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking order 1 million
Right.
of the first thing. I'm obviously gonna order one and see how it comes in.
Right. Is there like a convention in the next 3 months in your area?
Yes.
Any that you're confirmed for that you can share?
Retro World Expo.
Where's that one?
Upstate Connecticut.
Okay, I might go meet you there. Retro World.
All right.
Because some people wanted some dual signatures in the book of the two of us. So I'm going to go meet up with Sean in the US. I was supposed to do it with too many games, but the book didn't get finished on time. So I guess I'll go meet you in Retro World Expo. Is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
It says... Oh, okay.
I think it's middle of September.
Oh, that's... Okay. Maybe I'll just go visit you then. Before that. Where's Connecticut? Oh. That's kind of far. I'll figure it out.
I mean, worst case, I can just mail you some if I have to.
Nah, we'll do a little road trip. I haven't seen you in 2 years. This guy doesn't want. This guy doesn't want to see me. He's like, just stay in Canada. I will mail them to you. What else?
Call Donald. Tell him to close the border to Canada.
Yeah, you got the red phone straight to his office. I just won't smuggle any of those things I smuggled for you last time. That I'm not gonna say on camera.
Oh, I think they're unbanned now.
You guys unban them? Really? I don't think so. It would be nice though. Heads up, guys. Statues at GameStop for $10. The statues at GameStop are always $10. They're always so cheap. I fell for it once, and I got the the Assassin's Creed Black Flag one, and then I realized all the Ubisoft statues always go on sale at GameStop.
Matthew.
Yes, Matthew.
And ketchup chips.
Well, you're not getting any more maple syrup after the disgrace you did with the last bottle I brought you.
I didn't have room.
Yeah, so you just left it in the hotel room. I could have brought it back with me. Yep. Any other last things? We still got 7 minutes. Still need an Android one.
The what?
I'm just reading some comments. Kat was saying I still need some Android ones. Okay, right. Is the cover just a pattern of the 32Xs? Hey, that's not a bad idea. I haven't designed the cover yet. Might have to do that.
You should talk with Evan about some design stuff too.
Connect me with him, and I will.
How are you not connected? You probably follow each other on Twitter.
Evan's from Spawnwave?
Yes, it's Evan.
I don't think I've ever talked to him.
Well, talk to him on Twitter. DM him because he does all Spawnwave's graphics and all that shit.
Okay.
He does like actual art and stuff. So I feel like
I do art.
he could help advise.
Yeah, I mean, they always say your best ideas will always come from someone else. So I'm open to ideas. If anyone here watching wants to give advice or a wish list of what you would like to see in the 32X book, in terms of design elements, if there's anything, if you're like, make it feel 90s, make it feel like this, make it feel like this, put a picture of Sean burning his chest hair in the back. Any advice like that, just drop it to me on Twitter. And I will definitely consider it. Doesn't mean it's going in, but I will consider it.
Is Sega going to get me a playable build of Panzer Dragoon remake soon? I wish.
Panzer Dragoon.
I
heard you screaming when I saw that dropping on the Nintendo Direct.
I was watching it and I'm like, that looks like Panzer. And then they showed it and I was like, you got to be shitting me right now.
It looked like a terrible game, by the way. And the only way I knew of that game was from you, because I know you.
Do you like old school Star Fox?
I do, and I mean, it does look like a good like if you put an R-wing instead of a weird dragon, I probably would have been like, oh, this looks amazing. But
I mean, the old Panzer Dragoon is like a Star Fox, but you have a little bit more freedom, and
doesn't like the scene change more? Like there's more directional.
It's a lot more cinematic than a Star Fox.
All right.
The Star Fox
but what's
game
the
is.
story about? You know, like in Star Fox, you're trying to fight the big evil monkey. What are you doing in this one?
There's story. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I'm asking you. What's the story?
You gotta play the game, man.
Oh, man. And it was only on Saturn, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you got a lot of good retro love at E3 this year.
You really did with Contra, Battletoads.
Oh yeah, how do you feel about the new 3D Contra? That thing looks like garbage.
Everyone hates it. I'm willing to give it a chance.
I mean, I'll give it a chance because I want to love it, but it looks like garbage.
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
Battletoads doesn't excite me. Like I'm looking at it.
It looks like I thought it would look.
Which is like a remake.
Yeah, cell shaded Battletoads game.
It just looks worse than the arcade version. Like the arcade version that they had on the Retro Replay, that was, I don't know, I really enjoyed that one. But this one looks kind of... And then you got the arcade 1-ups. Got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, X-Men.
Yeah.
You're big into the X-Men one.
Oh, well, the X-Men, it's not X-Men. It's X-Men Children of the Atom and Marvel superheroes fighting games. And then the Punisher for some fucking reason.
That was so
random.
random.
I like that. I like it because it's 2 fighting games and 1 beat-em-up game.
Yeah, I thought that they would have done all the beat-em-up games for X-Men. Like, if it would have been, like, 1 beat-em-up and 2 fighting ones.
Like, you could
1 fighting
have,
and
but
2 beat-em-ups.
X-Men would have to be a 4-player cab, so maybe they didn't want to do that.
2 at the same time, maybe.
Huh?
Because TMNT is a 4-player cab, and I think they're experimenting to see what the demand is on that, because they're going to be priced more.
Well, it's only $350
versus $300, right?
Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, they're both day ones for me. Star Wars. I had heard that the Star Wars games were coming, and
to the arcade
for the arcade 1-up, and I was told by a source that it was the Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
So immediately my mind went to the Sega game, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's day one. And then we got the unveiling of Star Wars, the trilogy of Atari games, and I was like,
what?
Wow. What, did you not see that?
No, there's an arcade 1-up for the Star Wars Atari.
Yes. And it looks just like it has the same flight stick or weird control thingy that the original did.
I'm looking this up right now.
It's just the games were before my time, so I'm not interested.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the Atari games were.
The first one, I think the first 2 had vector style graphics, and then the third one was like an isometric game.
That sounds terrible.
People love them though. I think it's for a slightly older audience.
Oh, I remember this in the arena where you're like shooting TIE fighters and stuff, and it's vector based.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
That is what you said, but I'm confirming it. Thoughts on Witcher? I just saw a picture of Witcher. Yeah, Witcher 3 on the Switch.
I can't wait to play it because it's a game that shouldn't probably be on the Switch.
Yeah, that was a shocking one. Was there anything else with retro that we didn't cover? from E3 that was worth talking about?
No, I think that's about it. Oh, the Hyperkin thing, but
Hyperkin?
the N64 clone.
Oh, and you just reminded me, Konami's mini consoles.
Oh, the turbo graphics of the PC Engine. Jesus Christ, that was completely out of left field. Yes, Tony, get your question in. Huh?
Interested though? In the
I just saw that comment, Radioactive Solomon's Key. I mean, of course I am, but it's for review purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like as a general consumer, the PC Engine one is fucking awesome because it has Rondo on it. But they need to be smart and put Rondo on the TG16 one. If they put Rondo on the TG16 one, I will gladly buy the TG16 one. I don't think you can make a TG16 mini based only on the North American games that came out.
Picking up, if you're seeing any questions, please pick them up. I'm going over the comments right now.
What are your thoughts of Akira Howard as the default name of a male or female officer in Astral Chain? It's a very specific question.
That is very specific.
I feel like I might be missing something, but pending that I'm not, I think that's fine. The name Akira isn't really
Akira Howard, though.
Akira.
Akira's fine, but Howard?
I mean, it's kind of white bread.
Yeah.
And they're not. I don't know, because Dwight Howard wasn't a white dude. I don't know. I think it's all right.
I'm fine. I like Akira. I think Akira's a cool name. Ooh, which reminds me, I'm not. Never mind. I'm gonna keep it to myself because I can't pronounce it out loud. Where was Rocksteady at E3? It's a gap year. They're coming next year, along with everything else. E3's on a break this year, everybody. CTR is great though.
CTR gang is in the house.
Yeah.
CTR.
How long is the CTR gonna last?
It's the finest game ever. It is front runner for my game of the year. I'm actually getting a Crash Team Racing tattoo on my chest.
Huckman asks, any plans to bring back What's in the Box RGT? I'm also asking.
Whenever I get a PO box, and I know I've been saying that forever, but there's
wasn't
kind
there
of
like a really stupid political system that you had to go through to get your new PO box?
It's not political. It's just if you have an out of state, if you have an out of state license, they don't like to give you a PO box because terrorism. I guess I don't know. It's bizarre to me.
What did you think about Devolver Digital Light Gun arcade game? I mean, who's buying that? It is a real thing, though, Matthew. I saw your question earlier asking if it was real. Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah, I mean, it's priced like a legit arcade. I mean, it is a legit arcade. It's a limited quantity and everything. But who, like, outside of it being a novelty, I just don't see it being. Is anybody in this chat actually getting that? I'd be curious.
Final question: does Princess Zelda look sexier in long or short hair?
Wow, the important questions tonight.
I think the short hair has something to do with someone was. I don't remember who the fuck was saying this. Someone was saying that when she has short hair, it's when she's in combat or something.
What? Hyrule Warrior, she fights with long hair.
I don't know, man.
Has she ever had short hair before?
Look, man.
I'm about the long hair. Personally, I prefer her with long hair. To answer Tony's question.
Tomato to me.
You don't care about the hair?
I mean, it's not going to make or break me.
I hear that. She seems younger with short hair. Like, I feel, whenever anyone here who watches anime, like whenever the female character like levels up or does something badass, she usually cuts her hair. Like cutting the hair, I feel, always comes with this significance from anime storytelling. So maybe that's the same thing happening here. She's gonna fight. She leveled up. She's she has her champion and everything. So down with the hair.
Down with the hair.
She had short hair in Wind Waker. Was it short? I mean, that was tunified. It's a little bit different. She didn't have short hair in Wind Waker. I remember. Wait. Wind Waker Zelda. We're gonna answer this right here. Yeah, she had long hair. Wind Waker Zelda. Boom. There she is.
There you go, Shrimp Chi. Even though you're part of that Crash Team Racing gang, but Shrimp Chi says that Dreamcast guys is a trope in Japan. When a girl cuts her hair, it means that they're ready to fight. That's where I got that from.
Well, look at that. Look at that. Dreamcast guy sharing the knowledge. Who do you two use as your main in Smash? I use Bowser.
I use Belmonts.
Both?
I mean, they're pretty interchangeable.
I disagree.
Sorry for the meta people out there. I play Smash very casually. It's not a true competitive fighter like Power Rangers is.
Who's your main in Power Rangers?
Goldar.
Oh, it's still the Goldar guy.
What was that?
What?
What do you mean, the Goldar guy?
Oh, you're the
Goldar is,
you would take
Goldar,
you would take the golden monkey is all I'm saying.
Goldar is god tier.
How does that make sense though? Tetra form, her hair was short. Was it short or was it just tied short? Because she goes from Tetra to the princess form and then she has long hair. It didn't just grow out like that. Yeah, it was pulled
shit.
up. What?
There's a 12-inch plush movable batting arms Goldar. New in box. Kind of want it. It's like $100 though.
Buy it. Big spender right here.
No, I gotta go get my computer fixed tomorrow.
Priorities.
Yeah,
You
computer.
need.
So I can.
Can you
make
cuddle up a
money.
computer? No, you can cuddle up a. What'd you say? Something moving Goldar?
Goldar?
With what action?
Yeah. It's got opposable arms.
Posable arms. Posable legs and wings though?
Yeah. My PC battery is running low, Jason. I'm only at 13%.
You mean your laptop battery?
Yeah.
All right. Oh shit, we're actually 5 minutes over. We will wrap it up for tonight though. So thank you for joining. Sean, what can people look forward to you other than bad reviews? Oops, I mean good reviews.
Wow. Subjective reviews, as are all reviews. Devil May Cry, Bloodstained, Super Mario Maker, news. Hopefully I get this computer fixed. If not, the editing will be a bit lighter than normal. I'm not saying I'm a great editor to begin with, but I obviously don't have all my files on this laptop, but I do have the programs on here now. So hopefully that'll alleviate things. I can at least work on some things.
This week over on Hey Jay, you can expect Indie Corner dropping again with the Indie Corner stream as well tomorrow 9 p.m. Eastern time. You can join me as I pick an indie game and play it to find out if it's good or not. Most of the time, they've been good. That one food restaurant game is a little bit questionable. I kind of regret buying that one. But usually, my instincts are good and I don't pick trashy games. But you never know. I could be wrong one day. Hey J News is on Saturday. Hoping to get the food channel going. This week is a very creative week because I'm not working. So we're going to be catching up on the 32X book, and in between that, putting out as much video content as I can. With Mario Maker 2 dropping, I'm looking forward to get more involved with the Mario Maker 2 community. So I'll be either streaming that or Castlevania, because I also got to get through my Castlevania marathon. So those streams are going to be coming out this week as well. So other than that, we'll see you next week with another Class vs. Crass next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. No, because it's a long holiday. It's Canada Day next week, and I might not be here, so it might be actually
Canada
on the Monday.
Day.
Yeah, we get Canada Day. Just because you guys get your Independence Day, we get Canada Day. What are you laughing at?
Canada.
We can shut up. We're more advanced than you think. So we might move the show to Monday night if Sean agrees. We'll see. We'll figure it out, but it'll be at a weird hour next week. See you next week, and until then, keep it classy, or as Sean would say.
Keep it classy.
Have a good night, everyone.